Chapter 10. Rennie Kelly sat at a quiet table in an upscale restaurant in downtown Chicago across from Marta O'Malley, his lifetime girlfriend. For the first time, he could now take his childhood sweetheart out to dinner on Saturday night. They were always close and knew they would marry someday, but they had been consistently too poor to make ends meet. Marta was a granddaughter of a couple from the mass exodus of the Irish potato famine. Her grandfather and father worked in the Chicago stockyards with Rennie and his father. Rennie and Marta met as toddlers, and in the 3rd grade, when they played hopscotch together, they became best friends. The couple grew up as neighbors, each taking on any odd job they could find from a very young age. Marta, now employed in a grocery store, worked hard to please her employer and customers. She wished she could someday manage a market of her own. Rennie and Marta shared everything, but he was afraid to share the source of his newfound wealth with her. He knew the ruthless power of the mob, and any possible leak of information leading to their stolen money being in his possession might bring sudden death, notwithstanding the consequences if the law figured him out. Rennie wanted more out of life. He wanted to marry his girl and live the American dream. Knowing he had the best possible partner in Marta, he wanted to start a business with her, and they both wanted to leave Chicago. The couple wanted to move somewhere to raise cattle, hogs, and sheep, slaughter them, and sell the meat in their butcher shop or maybe a full-fledged grocery store. They weren't sure yet, but since Rennie now had means, he was thinking of all possibilities. "You must be making a lot of money doing whatever you are doing during the day," Marta said, appreciating the new places he was taking her lately. "My new trading business is doing very well. I think we can get married soon," he said, kissing her across the small table. "I hope so. I want to marry you and have some purebred Irish babies together." Marta's long, light brown hair flowed down her back. Her angular face revealed square jawbones, a turned-up nose, tanned white skin, and thin lips. The look in her big brown eyes told of a woman in love. Rennie rented an apartment close to his commodities broker to learn how to trade meats and grains while the markets were open. Jevel Zumber, a profitable trader who handled customers' accounts with the horsepower to sway the markets, knew he could make Rennie rich. Zumburn followed the lead of his clients, who traded futures contracts and dealt in substantial physical quantities of the commodities they traded. Rennie made 3 times as much money trading as he did at the stockyard. "I think I will be quitting my night job at the stockyard soon and concentrate on my new business. I want to figure out where we should move to start our new lives together. I have been talking to the Great Northern Railway crew who bring cattle and sheep in from Montana, and they all say that's the place to go. I guess Montana is in a drought, so everyone who moved there to grow wheat is leaving, but it's still a good place to raise livestock." Rennie rambled, thinking it through aloud to Marta. "I'll go anywhere with you, love," Marta cooed. "Maybe our families can come too. I hope they will want to come. After we get established, we can send for them. I know your dad would love to leave his job at the stockyard and work at a better place. I have enough money for us to start looking for a better place to live. Let's dance, my sweet princess. You look so beautiful in your new dress. Thank you for taking me shopping. I can't believe you could buy me all these new clothes," Marta exclaimed happily, dancing with her love to the middle of the floor. "Anything for my best friend, but I'm still going to beat you at hopscotch someday," Rennie smiled. "Never," Marta giggled as they tried to mimic the Charleston the other young people on the dance floor had perfected. Marta's rhythm and agility moved with the music. Rennie moved like a bull in a china closet. When the evening ended, Rennie ushered Marta to his newly acquired Model T and drove to his apartment. "I have waited for 10 years to make love to you, Marta," Rennie declared as he closed the door behind them. "Let's make this night the special night where we give ourselves to each other. I have told you a million times, Rennie, that is what our wedding night is for," Marta teased, kissing him on his cheek. "When you marry me, you can have whatever you want, honey. But I don't want to get pregnant, and have to get married. I want to marry you because we love each other. When do you want to marry me? Are you going to propose to me properly? For 10 years, I've wanted to marry you. But now that I can afford to take care of you, let's do it as soon as possible. Let's elope. I'll quit my job. We can go to the courthouse, marry, and take the Great Northern Railway to look over Montana on our honeymoon, Rennie urged. You still haven't proposed to me properly, Marta begged. When haven't you known that we would get married someday? Rennie teased. I have known it all my life, but I want you to propose to me. I think I would rather tell you what to do, Rennie laughed. What a nincompoop, Marta grumbled. You haven't even bought me a ring yet, Rennie. Don't you know we need to get engaged before getting married? We've had an understanding since we were 11 years old that we would get married, Marta. Rennie grinned. Doesn't that mean we have been engaged for 9 years? Well, sorta. But I want an engagement ring, and we have to be engaged for at least 12 days before we can get married. So that means we need to get a ring today, now that it's already past midnight. Marta giggled. I really love my best friend, Rennie grinned. I don't know if we can find a jewelry store open on Sunday, but if we can't, I'll quit my job on Monday, go ring shopping with you, and plan our honeymoon. I can't wait to rip your white wedding dress off and start the life I have always dreamed of. He winked. Me too, she returned, smiling. But now you need to take me home. It's almost 3 in the morning. Rennie kissed her cheek, and with his arm around the small of her back, he ushered her to his Model T. Helping her in, he said, I love you so much. They drove the empty, dark streets of pre-dawn Chicago to Marta's family home. Rennie walked her to the door and kissed her. I'll pick you up at noon to go ring shopping, and in 2 weeks I'm going to make love to Mrs. Kelly. I think that will make us both very happy, she uttered softly. Rennie only slept 2 hours. When he opened his eyes in the morning, he wanted the sun to shine on Marta, sleeping next to him. He wanted to hold her hand and feel the ring on her finger. He wanted to kiss her good morning. He wanted her. He wanted her in every way. At noon, Rennie knocked on the front door of the O'Malley home. Marta's father, Connell, opened the door, exposing his stern scowl. Rennie, we need to talk about your respect for my daughter. Okay, Connell. I want to talk to you about the very same thing. Rennie knew Connell was an impatient, hot-headed Irishman and needed to get his 2 bits in before Connell started. In all the years he had known Marta, he had never returned her home after the 11 o'clock curfew her father imposed. Even though she was now 21 years old, she still lived under his roof, which meant she still lived under his rules. At work, Rennie had seen Connell beat an unruly cow with his bare hands until the skin on his fingers was torn and bleeding. He knew Connell might treat him the same way if he so chose. Last night, Marta and I were planning our wedding. Today, I came here to ask you for her hand in marriage. If you approve, we will look at engagement rings this afternoon. We hope to get married in 2 weeks with your permission, sir. Connell stepped back and swallowed. I guess that answers all the questions I was going to ask, Rennie. What took you so long? I had to wait until I knew how I was going to take care of her. And recently, I started a new business. And now I know how I can do just that. I want to take her on a honeymoon to Montana and see if we can find a good place to live there. If we settle in Montana, you and Kuroda may want to come there too. It sounds like you have put in a lot of thought. I would give anything to pick up and leave packing town, Connell said. But to get back to our original conversation, the answer is yes. I will give you my daughter's hand. Thank you, Connell. I will take very good care of Marta forever. Then come in and have lunch with us, Connell welcomed. 2 weeks later, the O'Malley and Kelly families and a few friends gathered at St. Joseph's Catholic Church to witness the marriage of Rennie Kelly and Marta O'Malley, followed by a small reception in the church basement. The only hiccup occurred when Connell got drunk and filled the room with broken glass when he slugged the guy who looked at him from a mirror.